Yes, this song plays in my head about 5 o'clock every afternoon,
Does
doesn't
it?
Yeah, it does. It reminds me it's time to have a cocktail.
You're listening to Home Wizards, where we love to help improve your home and your life, and that just might mean having a cocktail.
That's right.
I'm Cindy Dole.
I'm Eric Stromer. Hi.
So we thought we'd talk about going from the garden to your bar, meaning you can grow things, fruits, vegetables, herbs, even edible flowers that could end up in a lovely beverage next time you're having folks over.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, there's nothing like fresh herbs when it comes to any kind of food or beverage. That
Even
you consume.
water. I mean, remember the water we had the other day? It was a slice of lemon and a slice of cucumber.
Yeah, like at the spa, they'll do strawberry water with
Right.
pineapple in it. It's just
It
beautiful.
just amps it up
It
just
sure
a
does.
little bit, and it just tastes great.
And then in the world of cocktails now, they're doing that stuff where they'll mash all those ingredients up and then make these elaborate, fancy drinks.
So this really is a trend. I mean, it's in fact it's more than a trend. It's becoming, growing a garden's worth of herbs for cocktails that are made from that. It's now the standard in a lot of among mixologists and restaurants.
That's your $12 cocktail, by the way. You can do it at home for basically nothing.
I know one of my favorite things that my dad would always say. He would do this on the 4th of July, and he would do it on things like that. He would announce what the price would have been. Well, there went $20.
Yeah, that's right.
So as people are drinking now that $12 cocktail, and when your friends are over, you say, "Oh, there went $12.
That's it.
There went 20."
And the perception is, boy, we're getting a fancy deal.
You
Maybe
got a
we'll have
big
another
deal.
one. Yeah.
So let's talk about, at a glance, what you need to think of if you do want to have a cocktail garden, right? And it can even be for the non-alcoholic beverages, but you don't have to have a lot of space. You can do it in containers.
Yeah,
Right?
I love that. The ability, if you're an apartment dweller or you have a townhome or something with not a lot of space, growing these herbs is not that difficult. You can actually even do it indoors with a grow light if you want to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or create little raised beds so you can just keep your cocktail garden healthy and productive. So here's some of the essentials. You got to have limes. Speaking of Margaritaville, are you growing limes?
I am, and I get a pretty good crop
Really?
every year. Yeah.
Good for you.
I got a little lime tree out in the front of my house.
Now, well, that's very good because
Yeah.
I've had a difficult time growing limes. We grow them in containers, and finally, this has been our lucky year. It's going, we've got tons of limes.
Really?
I'm so happy.
Okay.
I think that limes are a little more difficult, at least it is for me, than an orange or a lemon tree.
And it feels to me like limes, when you buy them in the store, they're never as juicy as you hope.
They
but
aren't.
when you grow them off the tree, like I can do at my house, it's just phenomenal, the
So
difference.
if you did want to grow them in a pot, and it's best basically if since it is a subtropical tree, if you grow it in an area that has at least 6 to 7 hours of sunshine.
Which basically spells my hometown of Northridge, which is it's basically Mars on Earth.
It's very warm.
Yeah, it really
It
is.
is warm.
Yeah.
And one of the things that a mistake people make is they overwater citrus.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's true.
It's better to give it a deep drench less frequently, as opposed to.
And then now let's just tell the folks about. Now, I had a question for
Yeah.
you. Speaking of citrus, does that whole borer thing affect?
The Asian citrus psyllid.
Yes, Does the Asian citrus psyllid affect limes also, or just lemons?
Yes, all citrus.
Okay, all right.
So we should tell everybody that throughout California, there's this terrible disease known as the Asian citrus psyllid, and in fact, it's throughout the country. It attacked all the citrus trees in Florida, and it devastated their industry. And so no matter where you live and you're going to be buying citrus, it's going to impact all of us if we can't get this thing under control, and it's affecting citrus trees in our own backyards.
Yeah, and again,
So-
just keep an eye out under your leaves. If you'll see these little bugs with their hindquarters elevated as they're feasting on your leaves,
mooning you.
Basically.
Another thing you want to have for your cocktail garden is the lemon balm. Now, lemon balm leaves we were talking about, lovely in water. It's a tough perennial, and it's actually very easy to grow. And you can even try harvesting a few leaves and then freezing them in ice cubes. And it's just a beautiful, refreshing
Now, I don't
treat.
know. I don't know this.
So
What
this is not
this thing?
this is not a lemon
This
tree.
is a fantastic
It's called
thing.
lemon balm.
So it's almost like mint,
It's
but it tastes like lemon.
exactly. It's a very low maintenance, kind of almost like an herb, and it thrives in beds or containers. And bees can't resist. We want to have more bees come to our garden.
Okay.
But so take advantage of that. But check it out.
And
It's called the
that
lemon
would
balm.
work great on
Sun.
fish or in a cocktail.
Yeah, sun
right?
and part sun, and it's a perennial herb, and I think you're going to love it.
Okay.
And it flowers in the mid to late summer through the early fall. And it looks really good in containers or also in flowering beds. Another really good one is lavender. Now, we just bought some lavender when we were at the grocery store. I can't resist when I buy some food. They have a little plant. Don't you just want to pick it up and bring it home?
I do. I love
that. I do that. But the key then is to make sure that you don't overwater it. Lavender does not like to sit in water. Do you have any lavender at home?
I do. I have a ton of it, actually. It grows really well where I live.
Is it in the ground?
It is in the ground,
okay.
Yeah.
So, see, I had mine in a container, and that was my mistake, is that it doesn't like sitting in water. I mean, it basically is a drought-tolerant plant. So it's a good plant to save water. So don't overwater it, like once a week tops, and
And then what can I do with all this lavender that I have?
Are you ready for this?
Yes. What do you have?
If you like a martini.
Well, who doesn't?
You can put a little lavender in there. I mean, it's great for lemonade.
Oh, that sounds great.
Or a garden tea punch.
Huh.
And it's all about the purple flowers, and you can use them as the actual garnish in the drink.
Well, that just sounds
Isn't that great?
I'd love to do. I'm going to do it. You know what? I gotta get a mortar and pestle.
And you do. You can get one of these.
Because that gives you the essence and
get that like a Williams Sonoma or some of these like cooking stores.
I'm getting one today.
But keep in mind too that the darker the flower of the lavender, the more intense the aroma and the flavor in your cooking. Okay. Because some of them are kind of like a pale lavender blue, and some are almost like a dark blue.
And the dark's got more flavor.
The marigold is a good one. Have you ever cooked with marigold?
I have not.
They're kind of those goldeny, gold flowers.
So wait, that's the one that you find in salads sometimes?
Sometimes you do. And marigold, they're all different kinds of varieties, but they're kind of a little on the spicy side, and you can use those in buttercream sauces. But you can also use them in different kinds of beverages as well, in like a punch or in a tea. So imagine that with a little bit of a kicky spice. But you want to plant this in sun, and it goes okay in a container as well as in flower beds and borders. Chives is something to keep in mind.
See, I grow chives.
You grow chives, really?
Yep, love them.
This is, if you like a Bloody Mary, you can use the chive as the swizzling stick.
Get the heck out of here.
How's that for a little kick?
But does it have enough resistance, or is it going to crumble on you? Maybe you do a bunch of them together.
I bet that you could probably thread a few together and just have it floating in your drink.
There you go.
How about that?
I love them in eggs.
And you grow you get them from the garden, you put them in your eggs?
Put them right in the eggs.
Yum, good for you.
Yummy, yummy.
So you're having success growing it's basically
good.
sun to part sun.
And those are actually, I've had success in pots with those easily.
Good.
Yeah.
I mean, they aren't the prettiest thing, but
they sure taste good on a baked potato.
Oh, yeah.
Jeez, I'm getting hungry.
Now, how about mint? You got to grow some mint.
I have mint too. It's going
now,
great.
Do you have that in the ground? Because
they
are pretty invasive. Those guys, they love to take over the entire yard.
They've done that. Yeah. And I've hacked them away a bit, but no, I love them. I put that in
water,
lemonade
tea,
too.
lemonade.
Yeah.
How about a mojito? Speaking of your little grinding it up, you've got to have your little mojito where you grind up the mint leaves.
Yes, I'm going to do it.
With simple syrup.
Again, it's all back to the fact that I don't have a mortar and pestle, and I'm going to do it today. I promise you I will have it by next week, and I'm going to tell you
I want you to bring it in the studio. We're going to hear you
all
in the background.
I'm going to make martinis here next week.
Oh my gosh! But you make sure that you do get some mint, and a good trick is just maybe having a container if you're worried about it taking over your yard, because they really love to be power hogs. And don't forget strawberries. Now strawberries, they also are great like in a daiquiri or a margarita, but of course just water or put them in ice cubes.
Did you know that we grow 80% of the country strawberries right in Central California?
I love our strawberries.
I cannot believe it. And now's the time, right now.
And they taste better than store-bought strawberries,
Boy, do they
I think, when you grow them.
Yep.
Or what about a sangria? So think about growing strawberries. They bloom in the summer and the spring as well. They're great in beds and borders, and even great ground cover. And they just like full sun.
Yep. And please don't forget basil, which I've grown both in containers and in the ground. And I've had success with both.
And they are great for, how about a watermelon basil lemonade? Doesn't that sound fresh?
Man, I'm going to make that.
See, yum. And you make pesto? You make homemade pesto for your pasta?
Yeah, I do.
Yum.
But I also put the basil in my world famous marinara.
Oh, yeah.
And it is delightful.
And of course, I love to have just a caprese salad. The basil with the tomato and the mozzarella cheese.
Right.
Anyway, we are getting hungry now.
Yeah, we are.
You're listening to Home Wizards. Eric Stromer, Cindy Dole. We love to help improve your home, improve your life. We're back in a moment. All right, so how much does it cost to remodel a home? $10,000?
Depends what you're doing and how big the home is.
Actually, the most dramatic and least expensive home improvement, of course, starts with color.
Yeah.
And as a contractor, you've worked with Dunn Edwards paint.
I love them.
It's one of the preferred paints. In fact, the preferred paint among contractors.
They are great for contractors.
And they have been the supplier of paint at the Pasadena Showcase House of Design and so many other magnificent homes for decades. So now you've got to figure out which of these magnificent colors you want for your home, because they have all these fun techniques on their website.
Well, I got to figure out, am I doing cantaloupe or melon for my front door?
I think you need the cantaloupe. Go to DunnEdwards.com, and they have this perfect palette sampler.
Yes.
And you can also get one free 8-ounce perfect palette sampler when you go to the website. You'll see what I mean. But go to DunnEdwards.com. Restrictions apply for some of the store details, and you'll see the locations. But they have so many gorgeous colors, a collection with 1,696 paint colors.
I didn't think there were that many colors in the world.
From dreamy blue to striking red, so check it out at DunnEdwards.com.